to Growing Up Low Country. I'm Liz.
I'm Danny, and it's hard to believe it's been a year
I know.
of Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny. We dropped our first episode on August 9th of 2024. And man, just a harebrained idea from the minds of Elizabeth Newsom and Curtis Smith. And Newsom was the one that suggested that I have you on Since We Last Spoke. And then we got so much great feedback from your episode, which is to this day the most downloaded episode of Since We Last Spoke.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and then Curtis hit us up in the DMs. He was like, y'all ever thought of doing a podcast together? And then he, to his credit, he actually was the one that did the show idea. So I was like, you know what? I like this. If Liz is down, I'm down. And here we are, 1 year later, Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny. And it's always a lot of fun. It's like every month, I just look forward to hitting you up, like texting you, are you available to record this week? Yeah. All right. Yes. Let's go. And yeah, so how's this year, how's this experience been for you?
Oh man, we've had a blast. And then the behind the scenes stuff that we might want to share with some listeners, we do a little dinner together, and my family looks forward to this every month too, because we get to sit down and just catch up beyond what you see here.
Yeah.
And it's nice. The world didn't give you more new childhood friends. Like, you got what you got. And I feel like we kind of lucked out with a good crew.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm telling you. And it's 40 years of friendship is truly hard to beat. It really is. But it's always you talking about just having supper after we record. And it's always cool just hearing your kids just air their grievances, or Callum specifically air his grievances about his New York Knicks. And that's always a good time. And just hearing them, just like what's going on in their world and whatnot. So so we're going to get the show started. So the first thing we're going to do is do our teacher spotlight. So Liz, who is your teacher spotlight?
This is someone I can't remember if I'd done before. I don't think so, but Miss Faye Hopkins.
Man, get out. You know what? That
Sixth grade.
literally was my submission for teacher spotlight too. So what are your favorite memories of Miss Hopkins?
I would nominate her for the most likely to be in Hogwarts. I feel like she's a great, she's Scottish.
Yes.
She had a lot of interesting sayings, like 1,000 lashes with a wet noodle.
Yep.
Like that. And she taught us English, although I got about 60% of what she said, because we had not yet been exposed to the internet. And so we didn't know, we just heard Southern English pretty much our whole lives. Yeah. And then this person with her Scottish brogue shows up. Didn't catch all of what she was saying. And maybe she wasn't even saying 1,000 lashes with a wet noodle, but that's what we heard. And that's what we remember.
Yeah, and that's what I remember too. And I remember I was being a little too talkative this one particular day, and she just gave me a tongue lashing, like from the gods. And like you said, a lot of it I couldn't quite pick up, but she did the 1,000 lashes with a wet noodle, and then she threatened me to boil me in unicorn oil, whatever that means. And I was just being a mischievous, rebellious little kid, and
11-year-old.
Yeah. And when she said what she had to say to me, she went back, she put her head back down to grade papers, and I was just boiling at that point, and I stuck my tongue at her, and she happened to catch me in the mid tongue, and she stuck her tongue back out at me, and I was like, let me get back to doing my work. And thankfully, she never told my mom about that, because that wouldn't have heard the last of it.
Yeah.
But I vividly remember Miss Hopkins, and she was, I think she was quite up there in age back then.
Maybe, I don't know. She might have been what Scottish people look like in their 30s. I don't know. We didn't know a lot of Scottish people.
Fair point. So now we're going to get into our second segment, which is Stags in the Wild. And for this month, my Stags in the Wild submissions, it was about as thick as a sheet of paper. So I really didn't have any submissions until I got the bat signal from you that two people one person was coming to the house, and you should come out to surprise her. And lo and behold, I got another surprise after surprising the guest. So yeah, who tell them who
mystery
showed
guest. Yeah, so Sam Rozier Rich was in town from Texas, and she was with her mama out at Folly, and it was so good to catch up with them, see her kids, and her son is her whole face just
Whole
on a
face.
little boy body. And then Vivi is also so beautiful and fun, and she just turned 12, so happy birthday to Viv.
Happy birthday.
And yeah, they're just a delight to be around. So they came to Park Circle for a night, and we did pizzas here. And then we had an additional surprise guest come
Yes.
to surprise Danny. And you were surprised.
I was surprised, very much so.
Okay. And that was Elizabeth Newsom Hoover.
Yes. And it's always good to when I saw her pull up, I was like, I got to meet her at the front door. And she's such a vivacious and gregarious individual. And it's just like a ray of sunshine just came in, and just like, man, she just kicked it up a notch. Cause
She's funny.
She is. She's funny. She's funny and she's fun.
Yeah.
And she has some great,
Deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What you
And
thinking?
it was a very interesting roundtable discussion in the midst of eating this delicious pizza. And where did you get that pizza from?
All right. This is a unpaid advertisement for Park Pizza Company. It's in Park Circle. Y'all, they have pizzas you never heard of or thought about, but they're so delicious. They sometimes, did you know, in the summertime, in July, I think they do, or maybe June, it's a tomato pie pizza.
No.
It tastes just like a tomato pie, and a pizza had a baby.
No kidding.
And it's somehow better than tomato pie and better than pizza. It seems impossible, but it happens.
Wow, just like the delicate balance, and they just stuck the landing.
Which one did you love the most?
The Big Mac pizza. I never would have thought in a million years that you could have a pizza that legit tasted like a Big Mac. But after, I think it was when we had us over with Newsom and Sam, and you were telling me about this pizza, because I think we just finished eating, and you were like, next time we record, and since it's the year anniversary, I'm going to get the Big Mac pizza. And I'm like, the what? Who? And you told me, and you were like, it tastes just like a Big Mac. And when I came over here, I'm like, all right, I'm just rubbing my hands together, like I get to sink my teeth into this Big Mac pizza. And when I sunk my teeth into that Big Mac pizza, Lord have mercy, it was crazy how much it tasted just like a Big Mac.
Yes. Sesame seeds on the crust.
On the crust. I mean, they really had the authenticity down to an absolute science. So, Park Pizza, shout out to you. No, we need a sponsorship.
Between you and Topo Chico, we'll be set. And you don't have to pay us some money, just pizzas and Topo Chicos.
Yeah, please. You have no idea what you started getting me addicted to Topo Chico. I literally, like on Thursdays, I'll go to the grocery store and I'll get like 2 big bottles of Topo Chico, and that's like my celebratory beverage on Fridays when I come home for just making it through the week.
That's good.
Yeah, so you got to celebrate the small things.
And they are refreshing.
Yes, they are. Yes, indeed. I might stop by the store.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, it is.
Keep me posted.
See, there you go. Then another segment we're going to get into is favorite dishes that your parents prepared.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So some of my favorite dishes, I remember my mom she made the best meatloaf. I loved her meatloaf. I hadn't had her meatloaf probably since 6th or 7th grade. And, I should ask her one day just to get a recipe and try my own hand at it. Because she did the ground beef and the egg and like the breadcrumbs, and she would add the dry onion soup mix just to kick it up a notch, and she would serve that with the mashed potatoes and gravy, and I'm just like, it's so good. It's like Christmas in my mouth. And even when she made the simple meals like pork and beans, sometimes she would just jazz it up in her own special way. Some days she would cut up Franks and put it in the pan with the pork and beans, or she was feeling real festive, she would cook some ground beef and then add it to there. And I was like, man, this is living right here. I just get to eat my pork and beans and sit and watch Perfect Strangers, man. It gets no better than this. And as far as my pops, he makes these smothered turkey wings. And my gosh, actually going back to my mom, she actually made some fried flounder on Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
It was either Sunday or no, it was on Monday. And as soon as I got home from work, I got the text from her. She was like, I made fried flounder, come over. I'm like, I'm on the way. And man, that was some of the best fried flounder I've ever had in my life. But
where'd she pick up her flounder?
you know what? I failed to ask her. I will ask her
Okay,
when next time I
if I
talk
catch some,
to her.
I'm going to keep them next time, and then she can fry them up.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. And then back to my dad. He make the smothered turkey wings, and he does the same thing too because he knows I love him so much. And like whenever he prepares it, he'll hit me up like, Danny, I made some turkey wings. Come over. Or sometimes he'll make the turkey wings, and I won't get the text from him, but like I'll go over there to visit, and I'm like, you made turkey wings, huh? And didn't notify your son. I see how it is. But look, I get it. Sometimes it's just so good you want to keep it to yourself.
Right.
So those are the things that really stand out in terms of my parents preparing dishes. So how about over in the Scarborough household?
Well, Linda has so many amazing talents. She's so smart and well-read and fun and curious and tons. Could go on for days about her many talents. Cooking is that's not something she's known for, but she can make a really good cherries in the snow and a good lemon icebox pie.
Oh,
Anything.
What's cherries in the snow?
Okay, so it's like a layered, you just crumble up angel food cake, you dump a bunch of Cool Whip in there, some condensed milk, let it sit overnight. Anything where you dump a thing of Cool Whip and let it sit overnight, she's got those recipes down pat.
Okay.
And they're delicious. Cannot complain. And the lemon pie is really, really good. She has had some real hard swings and whiffs, some real big misses. There was a time that we thought we were eating a roll of paper towels that had fallen into it was a crock pot meal, and we knew better than to complain about it. We were like, I guess we're eating paper towels. But something had happened. The measurement, clearly something had gone wrong. And
so what was it that she was trying to prepare?
Some chicken dish
in the crock pot
that came out tasting like wet paper towels. And yeah, seasoning also, but hey, like I said, that was not her passion nor her gift, but she had so many others that she didn't have room for the cooking.
So she made brawny casserole.
And yeah, we did fine. And Dad was he loved to cook. He never had a recipe, and so it was never the same twice, but it was normally really good. He liked to grill a lot and he would deep fry the turkeys. That was always really good. Bacon wrap duck, venison, and a shrimp and pasta dish, shrimp fettuccine with this white sauce that had to have been 7,000 calories a serving. I mean, there's
so be it.
Yeah, amount of heavy cream and cheese and all the things, but it was delicious. And he liked to watch that Paul Prudhomme on ETV. He'd always sit there with a little notebook taking notes.
Really?
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
He liked the idea of recipes, but then he would just get ideas and play with that.
Man, I love it. You could just take an idea and just like improvise and add and subtract things and just add your own twist to it. I love an adventurous cooker.
Well, so my great grandmother was a really good cook, and my aunt actually made a cookbook of all of her old recipes, and a lot of family people donated to it. And I made the pickled shrimp recipe out of it not too long ago.
Mm-hmm. Stuff.
It got good reviews, even from people who aren't big shrimp eaters.
Hey, that's a ringing endorsement right there.
And I would like to, it wasn't my doing it, it was a shout out to her. And I used some of Stephen Colbert's influence from his cookbook too, which is a fun cookbook to just sit down and read.
Okay.
And then get some good ideas out of it too.
I didn't know he made a cookbook.
Yeah, it's called Does This Taste Funny?
I love it.
Yeah.
So in celebration of the year anniversary of Growing Up Lowcountry with Liz and Danny, I want to go down memory lane and recap some of our favorite show moments. So actually, I'll go first. So the one that sticks out to me the most is when we did our first episode and we talked about Sonny Goldberg furniture. And when I did the commercial jingle, then at the very end, it's like after I finished doing the jingle, it's like you jump right in the double Dutch rope with me and we just in sync. Like, go Sonny, go Sonny Goldberg. I was like, man, see, this is, you never lose that nostalgia of these commercials in Charleston. And also, just you talking about your teacher spotlights and learning about your, especially specifically elementary school teachers, because we went to different elementary schools, and hearing about your teacher on the last episode, how she would implement this behavioral system where she would actually issue tickets if you acted up, and you made it paramount that you would not get tickets, because if you didn't, then she would take you to Delta Pharmacy to get ice cream. And that immediately took me back to when me and my papa would go to Delta Pharmacy and get root beer floats. And having Joey and Micah and Curtis on as guests on the podcast, and just hearing their stories and hearing about how they came up and learning so much new information that I wasn't privy to, and hearing Joey talking about how he went to Niagara, his mom and dad took them to Niagara Falls, which is still on my bucket list. And then hearing Curtis talk about how he actually lived in Hollywood, South Carolina, and then what that adjustment was like moving amongst corn. And that was just really cool hearing his maturation process from his perspective. So what were some of your favorite memories?
Golly. Well, I really do like when we have a surprise guest on. That's awesome. And just, you think you know somebody really well because you've been through a lot together and you were little together, but you only saw, at school and sometimes out and about, learning what they were going through at home, or, and not, it's just to see how far they've come and like how well they're doing, and their awesome families, and just, how they see growing up in the Low Country, how it shaped them, and hearing their stories of how it's made them who they are. That's probably my favorite. And also like when we talk about food.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we could talk about, like literally we could just keep talking about it forever.
Yeah, we should just do a special episode. We put that one behind the paywall where we just because
that's what the people want.
Yeah, just fly off the handle and talk about food. And actually another thing was your when we talked about learning how to drive, and how you were in downtown Charleston just flying. You were on the James Island Connector, you said?
Yeah, I was very convinced I was going the right way.
And your dad, your dad had his pedal to his foot to the floor trying to catch up with you. Like, where are you going? I love it. So now I'm going to get into the final segment. So Liz, what did you learn on this episode?
Oh man, that we had the same teacher. Like, how often does that? We had so many teachers and so many opportunities to name something, and just after a year, we were lockstep.
Yeah.
We can read that. Well, we probably would have picked different people if we had read each. I don't know. Yeah. But and I also learned that a year goes by pretty fast.
It doesn't it? Oh my gosh! Like I was looking at the episodes whenever I upload them, and I looked at the date of the first episode. I'm like, that can't be right. Like it's coming up on a year. I'm like, wow. But just like the old adage, time flies when you're having fun. That's and I tell you, this is the amount of fun I have recording this with you is just, I can't even begin to describe it. It's just like catching up on life with my first friend ever in life. Like it, and putting that in a podcast form, and then you put that out there, and then it becomes so well received, especially from the Berkeley High universe. I greatly appreciate y'all. Seriously.
Y'all are our target audience.
Yeah. In a nutshell, yes. And there's some people that'll shout out to Devin Rivers. He'll leave comments on the YouTube, and he'll leave comments on Facebook whenever I post the clips. And I remember Victoria Bennett Byer and Jessica Sperling specifically say that whenever they listen, they feel like they're back home. Victoria's in Pittsburgh, and Jessica, I believe, is in Louisiana. So hearing that really warms my heart. And it's like, okay, you know what? We're doing our job. So Liz, I cannot thank you enough just for saying yes to this project.
Yeah.
And this is just something, again, I cannot say this enough. I always look forward to doing this every month with you. And there's no other guest that I would rather do growing up Low Country with Liz. So Liz, thank you so much. You are the absolute best.
Well, thanks, Danny. This has been delightful surprise in my mid 40s to be able to reconnect and then just record it for posterity.
Yes. And thank y'all for listening. Matter of fact, we already have 2 guests lined up for the September and the October episode. So y'all stay tuned. There's going to be some goodies. So thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe to Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me at Danny Foxworth 843. There you can find videos of every episode of this podcast, as well as my Candle podcast, A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth, my baseball podcast, At the Plate with Danny Foxworth, and Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. And for Liz and myself, do you have any last words?
Just thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. And until next time, y'all be good. Talk to you later.